First on BBC One, the third programme in our series filmed over 9 months inside the Thames Valley Constabulary, Police, which tonight, in a forthright and frank manner, meticulously follows the steps taken to investigate a complaint of rape.
And so I went to dart out of the way, and I didn't notice the bloke behind me, and he grabbed one arm, and the other one went and grabbed the other arm.
So he grabbed you in the car park and not on Friar Street?
I didn't go. I said he called me.
Yeah, and you went into the car park?
Yeah.
Did you see? You saw these blokes in the pub, did you?
I saw them, but I didn't take any notice of them. I'd never seen them before in my life.
So you recognise them from the pub, not having seen them before?
Yeah. I hadn't seen them before,
Yeah.
No, I hadn't seen them before today.
It was three of them, was it?
Yes. One was blonde, with a moustache, and they all had tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
How old was the blonde one with the moustache?
I'd say about 24, 25.
And his height?
5'8".
His build?
Stocky.
Stocky build.
Not a stocky shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other one...
Tattoos, you say?
Yeah, on his arm.
Which arm?
Both of them. And he was showing his chest. He had a blonde, hairy chest.
What was he wearing?
A light blue shirt. And a...
That was open to the chest, was it?
Yeah. And he was wearing one of those Levi jackets, a light blue, and a rough pair of jeans, you know.
What do they say exactly?
That don't struggle with it. If you struggle, you make it worse for yourself.
And they put you into the back of the car, did they?
Yeah.
And you didn't scream or shout out?
I yelled for a bit. I said, "What are you doing?" You know, I was getting a bit hysterical, but and they put their hand on my mouth, and I thought, "Not like that."
Which one did that?
The one on the left of me, the blonde one.
And one got into the back of the car with you, did he?
Yeah, the blonde one.
And the other two remained at the front?
Yeah. And it was only a two-door car. We went all round the place. I can't remember where everywhere we went. We ended up towards Pangbourne.
Towards Pangbourne?
Mm. And
You know the Oxford Road, do you?
yeah, I know the Oxford Road. But
What was going on in the back of the car? Are you struggling or asking to get out?
I said, "Come on, let me out, let me out."
Did they say anything to you when you went to the house?
No.
Nothing at all?
Well, they said, "Make it easy for yourself, and unless you want to end up in the river, you know." They said, "We have ways and means of making you do things, you know." I said, "If you don't come easy, we'll just cut you up a bit, you know."
Yeah.
We've got plenty of knives in the kitchen drawer. They said we can cut you up a bit one at a time.
Which one took you upstairs?
The blonde one.
Did he drag you up, or did you walk up after him?
I scuffed a bit of my shoes.
Excuse me.
Is that Cora there?
Yeah. Hold on a minute then.
Are you happy to sort of carry on just for about another 10 minutes and then come out?
Yeah.
And then we'll go in and have a chat to her. But if you'd like to come out and tell us what's going on, what she said.
We're sort of halfway through, but
Got to the actual house at the moment.
Yeah.
I think she's slightly subnormal in some way, and she's not quite with it. I think she probably consented part the way and found her going a bit too far. I think she consented anyway.
Do you think it's taken place?
I think it might have done, or she's... But that's what we're sort of getting...
The bottle's gone a wee bit, yeah.
She's going over facts that they're a bit inconsistent with what she said before anyway, so we're trying to keep going back over and see what she's saying. But we sort of got to the house just now.
She made an allegation a couple of years ago to Mick Fulcher of the murder. And it was first to Superintendent Patterson, and that was filed. And within 3 weeks, she just waited for it to calm down, went back in 3 weeks and found someone else that didn't know her and made exactly the same complaint.
Well, she said that in the car park, she was called back from Friar Street. She came out the car park, went over to these three lads. They grabbed hold of her and forced her in the car. She didn't attempt to struggle or run away or scream or anything, so it was a bit odd.
I've got a feeling she's been...
She has, because I've taken her there. I've taken her there.
Yeah.
I just remembered when I was coming back.
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish our interview off and we'll come out and see you.
I'll be in the office.
Any reason why she should begin to start stating all this?
Well,
any
she's got a boyfriend of a year. So, yeah. Either her parents don't know she's had sex with his boyfriend, maybe some reason she's afraid to tell him. She might have concocted the rape story or something like that. Or she knows these three lads. And she's never ever seen these three lads before, she claims, and yet she recognised them when she came out the pub. Well, if I saw someone in a pub I'd never seen before, I wouldn't recognise them if I came out.
Mm.
Right, you get back to it and then...
You're quite happy?
Yeah, we're just going through it stage by
We'll be in the
stage.
office.
Yeah.
Have a good chat, get things together and come and give us a shout.
Okay.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
The minute John comes back, we'll just come down, knock on the door and enter.
Yeah, OK.
All right, cheers, Richard.
Anyway, so you didn't want Reading?
Sorry?
You didn't want Reading?
Well, they suggested that it would be better not to take Reading, so I'm going to Pangbourne.
What's the story then?
Well, I don't know.
No, not about that. About you going to Pangbourne.
Well, I just wasn't particularly busy or anything like that.
A phone call for you.
You know how lazy I am, Smiler.
I think it's a bit unfair, isn't it?
Thank you, Kevin. About 30 other people have said that. I think it's bloody diabolical.
You've been
Never
up
mind,
here 5 years?
5 and a bit. Yeah, coming up for 6.
And they suddenly turn around and say, right, that's it, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah. Anyhow, if there's any problems, you know, while I'm a PC out at Pangbourne and you lot are on duty and I can help you out. Yes.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Who is he, Kev?
Hey?
Who is this man?
I don't know.
Yes, I'm going back to uniform a week on Monday at Pangbourne, driving pandas with big blue lights and wearing funny hats.
So we'll see you with us on nights.
Well, if I'm on your board and there's a tea, I'm liable to call you up and say, what the hell do I do now, please?
Then she said, I must go. I've got to be back at work. I'm late as it is. So I said, well, can't you hang on a minute? I don't like being in this pub on my own. I said, I don't like being in any pub on my own. I said, it looks bad. She said, well, she said, it's okay. She said, they've seen you seen you with me, so they know you're not on the game or anything. So I said, why, do girls in the game come in here? She said, sometimes. I've known girls on the game come in here. I said, just don't be in here too long. So I was in there about 5-7 minutes, something like that, after she left. And I drank my drink up as fast as I could without choking myself. And I went out.
How many times have you had sex? Have you had sex regularly with somebody? With your boyfriend?
Yeah.
When was the last time?
I have been married, yes.
Yeah. When was the last time?
Last weekend.
Yeah. What about your periods and things like that? Are you menstruating properly?
Well, I never have done. Not ever since I was...
You're not pregnant or anything, are you?
No, I'm not pregnant.
You sure about that?
I went to see the doctor last month. About it. You can ask my mum about that.
Have you got any history of any sort of, you've been placing like or anything like that? What, as a voluntary patient? Or?
Yeah.
And how long were you there?
2 months, and then 4 months before that.
And what did you go in there for then?
I had a mental breakdown over my divorce.
Did you? Yeah. Well, you realise, of course, don't you, that if we take this, if we deal with this as a rape, then you're going to have a hell of a load of barrage of questions put to you in the Crown Court, because it will go to Crown Court. You know that, don't you? You're going to have the defence solicitor getting up and asking you all the types of personal questions that I've just asked you. And, if it's not true what you're telling us, then, it's going to look a bit difficult for you, isn't it?
What are you trying to say? That I wasn't raped?
No, there's a possibility. People come into the police station and they say all sorts of things. They make up all sorts of stories.
You wouldn't make up a story like that, I tell you.
People do, for lots of reasons. For lots of reasons.
If I just wanted a good time, I'd go out with my boyfriend and have it, wouldn't I?
I don't know what you would do. What you're telling us, is it the truth?
course it is. I wouldn't be here now, would I?
Well, I don't know. There might be an ulterior motive for it. Might be a reason for it.
Such as?
There might be a reason for you being here. I don't know.
Such as?
Invariably, it might be a psychiatric reason.
I've been set free for them. They let me go because they thought I was sane.
After all this happened, who was the first person you complained to about rape?
I told my boyfriend.
What time did you tell him?
When he came home from work.
Well, yeah, what time's that? 6, 5, 4?
About 5:45.
Quarter to 6. What time did you get away from these fellas then?
I've no idea. I went into the job centre. It must have been about...
Well, why didn't you say anything to somebody in the job centre? Surely rape...
I was too scared.
Rape is the next... As far as a woman is concerned, rape is the next thing to death, isn't it?
Well, I was very... They said...
If a woman's going to be raped, you know, it's like sticking a knife in somebody. It's that serious.
It felt like it when they raped me, I tell you. I've got a pain in my stomach now from it.
You then went to the job centre?
Yeah, I was looking for a job. I knew I had to get a job.
So you went through with the actions of going to the job centre, looking for a job, then you came out?
Yeah, got a bus home.
Got a bus home. Your boyfriend eventually arrived, then you tell him?
Well, I thought about it when I got home. I was going to ring the police, and then I thought better of it. I wasn't going to ring you. I thought I better...
Why didn't you think, first of all, oh, God, I've been raped?
I did. I felt dirty.
Why don't I go... Oh, I must go to the police station and report it. Why didn't you do that?
I felt too unclean. I didn't want to go through all the process which I'm going through now. I didn't want my boyfriend to ring up the police, but he insisted.
All right, if you've been raped, then we will deal with it as a rape. And we will arrest these men and we will speak to them.
You've never been in this police station before to make an allegation?
No, only by burglary. I had my flat burgled.
Think carefully.
I had my flat burgled.
Threatening letters?
No.
Sure. You've spoken to various police officers here, haven't you, in this police station, about various matters.
About
You've
burglary.
raised various allegations about things.
Such as?
Well, there were some letters, threatening letters that were sent to you. You made allegations about that, didn't you?
I can't remember. I've had ECT, you see.
You've had what?
ECT.
What's that then?
Electrical. They pass electrical current through your brain, make you forget things.
When did you have that?
At hospital.
When?
I can't remember. Things do. When I was first there, I went.
When you first... Well, you come in here, and you come into this police station, you made a very serious allegation.
I ain't come in. My boyfriend phoned the police.
Do you want to make an allegation of it? If it wasn't for your boyfriend, what would your action be?
What would my reaction be? Well, I feel
what
dead.
would your action, not reaction, action. If it wasn't for your boyfriend, what would you be doing right now?
I'd probably be at home, just a bit moody, but I'll probably just go to bed and forget about it.
That tends to suggest to me, in other words, that you would probably get over it. That it's something that you can handle, you can control, and then deal with.
Yeah, well, I thought, well, loads of guys get raped and don't report it, and I thought, well...
Did you say earlier on in this interview that you were on a game or been on the game? Or...
No, I've never been on the game.
You've never been on the game?
No. I've never taken money for sex, ever.
No. And have you had sex with a lot of men?
Well, not really.
Well, how many men have you had sex with? Can you count them on one hand, or can you count them on two hands, or three hands, you know?
No.
Eh?
I can count them on one hand.
5?
Well, not 5.
Not 5.
I had my husband, my boyfriend, and the previous 2 boyfriends that I've been out with a long time.
How long have you been going out with your present boyfriend, then?
Nearly a year.
12 months, is it?
12 months in November.
They're going to ask you all these personal questions in the Crown Court. And, you know, you're going to go through a pretty nasty experience.
That's what I was afraid of. That's why I really wasn't going to report
We've got to determine whether what you're telling us is the truth. This is why we've got to determine now, before we get to court. Because we don't want to go to court on a case which is a shaky case, do we?
No.
You know, one that we're not sure of your allegation. We're a bit uncertain of your allegation.
You're also free to
We're
do
not
what you
sure
wish.
whether you're telling us the truth. That's what I'm saying to you.
Now, if I wanted sex, I know what the difference between love and sex is. So I wouldn't just go for sex. I love my boyfriend. I wouldn't just cut any other bugger.
You've told us the events leading up to it.
Mm.
And you've told us how you went in the car to this house in Coley.
Wait,
And then,
Coley.
yeah, and then you've told us nothing more.
Mm.
You haven't told us what's happened inside the house. Did you get out from the car and just walk into the house, or what?
Well, the driver got out and walked round, and the other two watched
Walk round to where?
around the other side and went to open the house. And the other one got out. I went to get out that side, but he said, no, you'll get out this side. And the other one was behind me, because he was sitting in the back, the blonde one. And we got out of the car, and I tried to make a dash for it. He said, oh, where are you going? And he says, just remember what I got in this pocket. And there was a lump in his pocket. I don't know what it was, some sort of sheath or something, but I didn't see any knife. And he said, remember, I'm going to run faster than you. And when they couldn't make whoever was supposed to be in heard, so they opened this gate thing.
As I said, what you want, if you're quite prepared to say, look, thank you very much, and get up and go, or I want this pursued, or I want to forget this, first and foremost, that's what we're all about.
Mm.
It's your decision.
Yeah, well, if this goes to court, and only one of them gets caught, and the other two don't.
There's all sorts of ifs about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Really?
If anyone, the other two will see to it that I'm not around to tell any more.
Don't think that sort of thing happens, does it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
Well, you lived in Reading all your life, have you?
No, I lived in Colchester as well.
Yeah, I've worked this area for many, many years. I don't think that sort of thing. It might happen on the telly. It might happen in Starsky and Hutch. I can't see it happening in Reading. Not very much, anyway, that I know of.
Well,
Doesn't mean to say I'm right. Don't get me wrong. Doesn't mean to say I'm right. That sort of thing I can't see happening. What I'm saying to you is, what you've got to consider is all this, the statements, the doctors, the grabbing of all your clothes, going to see a doctor, all the smears, all the probing about. Then there's a court, then there's a jury, then there's the press. And if you haven't got it right, if it didn't happen or it did happen and you're just... Yeah, if it happened and you're just a bit so-so about it, unless you get it right, the expression we use, I don't know what you lot use, is it'll all come on top. It'll all go monkey, which means it's pretty awful, and you're going to be found out. Now, if you're quite happy after this has happened to let things be and that you've got the mental capacity and the psychology to get over it, all well and good, but the boyfriend's forcing you in here, now it's a different ball game, isn't it?
Well, I was quite prepared to let it go because I didn't want to go through all the...
No one's attacking your morals. You appreciate that?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, what you get up to, your sex life, your morals, is up to you. You're a free individual. That's down to you.
I didn't just go and bunk off of those blokes, you know. If I wanted sex, I could go to my boyfriend
That's
for
what
it.
you said earlier on. I'm not arguing that point. All I'm hoping is that I don't want you in here because of some guy who's sitting downstairs' opinion. I want you in here because of your opinion. And if it's not your opinion, you're not happy with it, then let's sort it out and let's get you going.
Right.
Because you're not in here as a prisoner, you're not handcuffed, you're not being charged with any offences. You're in here because of what some other guy downstairs is saying. What I'm interested in is what you are telling me. I'll take it from there. And if you're saying to me, he's forced me in, quite honestly, Brian, which is my name, I'd forget about if it wasn't for him. What I'm saying to you is, I want you to act on your own behalf. If you're saying to yourself, that is a fact of life, these things happen, I'm getting up and going, do it. If you want us to do something, then we'll do something about it, but it'll take a lot to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here in the first place. I wouldn't have even rung the police. Because it's like when my husband beat me up, I never phoned anyone. It's not until I ended up in hospital that they did something about it.
Did she go through what happened in the house?
No.
Right, can you carry on where we left off? You went inside the kitchen And you said, oh, there's an electric kettle, I fancy a cup of coffee.
Yeah, trying to stall them.
And he said, you're not going to have any coffee, take it from there.
Yeah, because there's no electric. He said there's no electric in the house. And then we went to the lounge and they drew the curtains and the blonde bloke pushed me down on the settee and sat next to me and tried to maul me. And I said, get off. They said, and the other one said, oh, what about me? Didn't I come first? So I said, oh, for Christ's sake, I'll leave while you fight it over. You know. Oh, it's just too much.
No, sorry, let's go through that again. They were fighting over who was going to be first, were they?
Yeah.
Right, who was first?
The blonde bloke.
The blonde bloke.
He took me upstairs.
No, go through what happened.
Yeah, he took me upstairs, well, grabbed my hand and took me upstairs and took me to, it was a kid's bedroom, there's toys all over the place and there's bare boards because, they said, you could get undressed quietly or do we have to hold you down and get you undressed? And I said, if you think I'm going to just strip like this, just so that you can have your way with me, you've got quite another thing coming. I said, if you want to end up in the river, I said, you've got a thing coming too. So anyway, he took my cardigan off and they were watching me, you know, and I felt quite embarrassed. It was quite embarrassing. It was terrible.
So the three of them were there, were they? Upstairs?
2 or 3 minutes. And,
Did he ejaculate? Did he come?
I think so, yeah.
Did he or didn't he?
Well, he said I'd come too fast, I presume he came.
So he came, yeah.
And then I said, oh, it's my turn now. I said, oh, Christ, isn't one of you enough? And...
So which one was that?
The blonde one came first, and then the one with black, bushy hair. They all had tattoos. And, yeah, he did the same thing. Except he hurt me more because he pulled my leg up. I tried to get free, and I tried to get my foot under so I could kick him one. And he said, hey, I know that trick. And he got hold of my leg and pulled it right up over his back. And oh, God, I hurt myself here, you know. And
he came as well, did he? Are you sure about that?
I think so, yeah. And the other one tried. And he says, he tried to wank himself off for a bit because he couldn't get hard. I said, oh, good, you don't want it, do you? I had enough by then. And he had a go, but I don't think he came, I'm not sure whether he came or not. But the other two don't.
Then what happened then?
And they got off and they left me to get dressed. And I said, can I have some tissue paper? You know, because I was a bit wet. And he gave me an old towel, a blue and white pattern one. And I wiped myself and I put my pants on. And I put my tights on back to front and my eyes and said, how would you get dressed? And I walked out and they were there. And then I said, can you take me back to Reading? We turned right and then left, I think. And we eventually got to Main Road where the buses came. And the bus went straight, they went off to the left and down a road. I saw them go.
What, they stopped, did they?
And let me out.
Was it on the main road or at the junction?
No, they turned left, they stopped. There's a bus stop up there. If you catch the bus, you'll be all right. And I said, well, how am I going to get on the bus? I've got no money. I said, oh, bloody hell, bloody women got no money. They've only got money. They said, oh, it's too bad, the blonde bloke said. So the guy with the brown hair says, well, I've got to see my missus, so I better hurry up. So I said, well, he says, oh, come on then, girl. Yeah, it's 16 pence. He seemed the most...
60 or 16?
16. 16 pence to get on the bus.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah. And that was 16 pence for Butt Centre.
From where?
Well, I don't know exactly. It was... I think it was the Meadway Road. Is it Midway Road? Is there such a road as that?
Yeah. Listen to me. I've been sitting here 20 minutes, half an hour listening to you. Some of it's the biggest lot of bollocks I've ever heard. I can get very annoyed very shortly. 1 minute you're saying it's Coley, next minute you're saying it's the Midway.
You passed Coley Park.
What happened? I'm sick and tired of the ups and downs and the ins and outs. Some of this is better fairy tales than bloody Gretel can do. Now stop mucking us all about.
I'm not mucking you about.
All I'm not saying to you is you're lying. Get rid of the fruitiness, get rid of all the beauty about it, and let's get down to facts and figures.
Not at all, is it?
Well, some of it is. All this crap about bus stops and numbers and blue and white tea towels to wipe myself down with. What the hell's gone on? If nothing's gone on, let's all pack it off and go home. If something's gone on and you think, well, that's an experience, that's life, all right.
That's what I do think.
This is the biggest bollocks I've ever heard.
I will agree that maybe you've had sex this afternoon. And it's not with your boyfriend. But I'll go as far as to say, I think that you've been a willing party to it. No, seriously. You're not upset by it. You haven't taken the blind bit of notice of anything that's gone on. The story you've told us is, like my colleague said, a fairy tale. Honestly.
Well, it happened, I
Look,
well, we're not saying it didn't happen. I'm talking about the embroidery that goes on around it.
We know what's happened here, right? You've had a hard time. Your husband beat you up. You've had a mental breakdown. You've had a long, long time being treated for depression, haven't you? And you go to a pub, you meet a couple of fellas, and they say, let's go back for a cup of coffee. And you go back, and it goes a bit too far. And they have sex with you.
I didn't even know them before.
Well, you got in the car with them. You got in the car with them.
You haven't come here because you want to, have you?
You made no effort at all to get away from them. I've checked with the people were out. You got out and you walked down with them. First thing I did, you know when we left you at the house, went straight down to the and spoke to the landlord. Oh yes, I can remember her. She's the one that's a little bit funny. All right? He knows her. She left here quite willingly with 3 lads.
Willingly with 3 lads? I didn't even go with 3 lads.
Well, you left the pub with them.
He might have followed me out or something, I don't know.
You've told me that you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Why not?
Because there's a lot of fuss. And a lot of aggro and something you can get over. Something you can accept.
Well, you're a lot stronger than some women I've met, I'm glad to say. I've met some that have been raped and all sorts of things have happened to them, and they think that their life is crumbling down around their ankles like a pair of knickers with the elastic gone.
Well, that's why I've been in, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's exactly why I've been in. Why do you think I've been in?
Doesn't hold water, this, does it? I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is, there's a lot more to this. Unfortunately, we will never know the other side of the story because we don't know the other 3 blokes. 2, 1 or none, whatever the case may be. I don't know. All we've got is your side of the story and you're still making a fairy tale out of it.
I'm not making a fairy tale out of it.
I think you are.
Would you realise that when we have you medically examined and the swabs are taken, it will show, if you've had sexual intercourse with 3 men this afternoon, it'll show
each one.
It will show each one.
Yeah, I know.
All right? So
it should show each
it will
one.
confirm that you've had sex or not with 3 men.
Yeah.
All right? So we can confirm it's happened, that you've had sex with 3 men. If it does confirm it, then I will go as far as to say that you went to that house willingly. There's no struggle. You could have run away quite easily. When you got out of the car to go to the house, you could have got away quite easily. You're well known in Reading to the uniformed lads for being a nuisance in the street, shouting and bawling. A couple of times you've been arrested for under the Mental Health Act for shouting and screaming in the street. Haven't you?
Yeah, I was ill, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, what's to stop you shouting and screaming in the street when you think you're going to get raped? You're not frightened at all. You walk in there quite blasé. You're not frightened at all.
I was frightened.
You weren't. You're showing no signs of emotion. Every now and again you have a little tear.
So, you were frightened, and you came at me, I think I would dive. I wouldn't take you on.
We don't fool
You
easily.
frighten me.
We don't fool.
Why would I fight you?
You just...
Only a little waft.
It doesn't matter. You're female and you've probably got a hell of a temper. If you were to go...
I haven't got a temper. I have a temper.
Oh, I don't know. I think if things were up against a wall, I think you'd fight, and you'd fight very hard.
I spoke to your boyfriend. He says the same. You've got a very bad temper. Very bad temper. I sat downstairs with him for half an hour and spoke to him about you. That's how I know all about your periods and things like this and when you last had sex. All right?
I was right over the weekend, wasn't I?
Right. Why on earth didn't you scream and shout when you came out of the car? Or when you went into the car? There's a lot of people about. At lunchtime, down that alleyway, there's always people about.
There was nobody there when I went down
when
there.
you came out of the car, there's always people about. Why didn't you scream and
I didn't
shout?
see anybody apart from a couple of little kids about 3 and 5.
You weren't looking. You weren't looking.
Do you or do you not want to make a complaint of rape?
No, I don't.
Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't, it's a complete and utter waste of time. Us three sit in this room talking about it. We might as well just pack up and let you get going.
Well, exactly.
Oh, there's two of us think the same thing then.
Listen very carefully what I've got to say.
I don't want to...
Right, listen carefully what I've got to say. My colleague just asked you if you wish to make a complaint of rape, and you said no. If that is so, then we will take a statement off you to that effect. All right? Now, understand, we don't want you coming back in 2 or 3 days' time and saying that I made a complaint of rape and I now want to make that same complaint again. I might have withdrawn it, but I've changed my mind. All right? I'm very sceptical. I don't think it happened.
I did have
All right.
that, I assure you.
But don't let us dissuade you from making a complaint. If you want to make a complaint, make one. All right? I don't want you leaving this police station thinking, bloody police, I want to complain about rape, and I'm not going to do anything. If you want to make a complaint, make it. If you don't, say so. We will take a statement off you, and that will be the end of it. It's entirely up to you. What's it going to be?
I don't want to go to court and go through that.
Are you sure? I don't want to put any pressure on you whatsoever.
You can still take to the doctor and that and prove it if you want
No,
to.
you won't, see. This is what I said. If you make a complaint of rape, then we will carry on with our interview to satisfy ourselves that it's happened. Once we're satisfied, then we'll get a doctor in to examine you. All right? If you're not going to make a complaint...
Why don't you get a doctor in straight away?
We're not satisfied at the moment that it's happened. All right? That's why we're talking to you. We do not...
What if someone doesn't want to make a complaint, but you believe there is a rape?
We can't do anything about it.
We can't do anything about it, because if you aren't going to complain, then, as far as I'm concerned, we've got no offence.
Because you can't have an offender for an offence that doesn't exist. Much to our annoyance, and believe me, it has happened.
Are you prepared to make a statement? And if we apprehend the offenders, are you willing to go to court and give evidence?
Well, if you get all 3 of them, yeah.
If we catch one of them, 2 of them or 3 of them...
No, if you catch one of them, the other 2 are going to get me, mate.
I'm saying, are you willing...
It doesn't happen. You know that.
Are you willing to make a statement and attend court and give evidence? That's what it boils down to.
Before judge and jury.
I don't want to go to court.
Are you sure? Then that is your decision. We'll take a statement off you. I'll go and see my inspector now and tell him what's happening. And then we'll take a statement off you, and you're quite free to leave the police station. All right? What's that for?
I don't want to end up in the river, that's all.
Oh, come on. This is Reading 1980. It's not bloody Starsky and Hutch. You end up in the river. What's the matter with you?
Honestly. They haven't met some of the people I know. See what people mean by, you know, it's easier to not say anything than go through this lark.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I was definitely raped. I've got a stomachache to prove it. And I could prove it with a doctor as well. They got a doctor in and did it straight away. It would be much easier. Why don't you do the physical first? And they could prove it one way or the other. And then I'll prove it to them. Oh, thanks.
See, these cigarettes I get lit for you, they're going to cause me cancer. I'll die through giving people like you cigarettes when I don't smoke. We'll get a quick statement from you.
Yeah.
Saying that
I don't wish to make any.
nothing at all. You can then go. But as John McIntyre, that was my colleague, says, don't come back here in a week's time or a fortnight.
What if you call on me and say we've caught the blokes, how can you now prosecute them?
If you don't want us to go any further, then we don't do anything about it.
When I'm coming to learn that, which is highly unlikely.
Exactly. We're here because you pay... Do you remember you pay taxes?
Yeah.
Well, we're here because you pay us our wages. If you're saying no to nothing, then it's forgotten. The way I see it, and I could be...
What happens if he does it? What happens if one of them or all three of them do it again?
Then whoever they do it to, if they do it, complains and makes a complaint of rape, then we'll look into it. If they say, I don't want to know, then they don't want to know, the complaining, i.e. you. We'll do that.
How do you know they haven't done it before?
I don't.
What if another girl comes in and complains of the same thing?
If she complains of rape and she wants to make it stick, then it sticks. If she does as you're doing and say, well, look, I don't want to know, then she doesn't want to know.
Well, she's been through what I've been through, she wouldn't want to know.
Then you're answering your own question, then. I would not, in other circumstances, have told the police. I want no further police action regarding this incident, and I do not wish to attend court. Right. All right. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
We'll get you to sign this, then, all right?
Can't read your writing, so I hope you put down what you said.
What do you can't read my writing? Can you read?
Yes, of course I can read. You can't spell boyfriend, can you?
B-O-Y-F-R-I-E-N-D.
Oh, is that an R? Looks like an E.
Right, teacher. Right. My boyfriend encouraged me to come to the police and tell them of the incident earlier today.
Put tell they.
Them. That's an M.
Oh, is it?
Do you want to borrow my glasses? You need binoculars, not glasses. I would not in other circumstances have told the
that's
police...
part of the D, is it?
No, them. That's part of the M.
No, that's a D, and that's... I thought
Yes.
it was Y.
Yeah. I would not in other circumstances have told the police I want no further police action regarding this incident, and I do not wish to attend court.
Can't spell 10, can you?
A-double-T-E-N-D.
There's no in there.
There's an N there.
Put an N in it.
Or make any form of complaint. All right?
Okay, yeah.
One there. One after the last word. One at the top. Now, there's a couple of scorings out. That's a Scottish word. There's a couple of mistakes. At the end of that line, just put your initials to show that that's about your boyfriend. One there.
That'll be fine. What time? Well, you give us a time and I'll...
It's the second of the month we've had
Well,
like that.
12?
Sorry?
It's the second of the month we've had like that.
Yeah, can I...
Well, of all my years, I haven't had... Well, I've had one that Terry Angley and I dealt
Exactly the
with.
same, sir.
And that came to nothing because she knew who did it.
Got any ciggies? I've got a roll up. Yeah, go on. I'll let you do it. Otherwise, your tobacco otherwise.
Can ask for me. If there's no message, then I'll be there at 12:30.
Just got to sort it out
Look,
from your
Okay.
pocketbook.
I'm really sorry about that. Okay. Bye.
We're on our way in a minute, all right?
Have you got a car?
Grab that. Shall we now get rid of her?
Did Dick say Mum and Dad was on the way down?
Yeah. She might as well sit in the front office with her boyfriend till Mum and Dad come and she can go.
Is her boyfriend downstairs still?
Yeah, yeah.
How long's he been here then?
Right. I'll show her downstairs, tell her to hang on till Mum and Dad arrive, make sure she knows the SP regarding a complaint, then we can get on with the other work in hand tonight.
Fine.
All right. I'll meet you in the main office, see you in the main office.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll
30
be up
seconds.
I'll be up there in about 30 seconds' time.
Sorry?
Did you tell her to make
No. Oh, no. It could well have happened. We don't know, but she's so unwilling and she's got a history of mental illness that she's now decided that if it hadn't been for her boyfriend encouraging her, she wouldn't come here. She doesn't want to go to court. So what can we do? Yeah, it's...
Wasting police time,
Oh, no, it's nothing like that, I don't think. She's made allegations before, but they've never been found to be unfounded, but they've never been proved.
Newsnight in 10 Minutes on BBC Two discusses the implications of that film with John Reddington, the Assistant Chief Constable of the Thames Valley Police, and Tricia Longden of the Rape Crisis Centre. That's on 2 in 10 minutes. And Radio 2's magazine programme with Brian Matthew round midnight also refers to the subject in the programme which begins at 11 o'clock. Next week, Police follows the events leading up to and during the annual Pop Festival at Reading, held each year on August Bank Holiday, when thousands of rock fans converge on a selected site by the River Thames to hear their favourite bands play. That's Police next Monday at 9:55.